We're driving to Tennessee, and I'm teaching a seminar at Michael Bartlett's gym. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. They have a guard child over there. He's basically guarding that facility. We are in Cookeville, Tennessee at Upper Cumberland MMA, 10th Planet Jiu Jitsu. Cookeville, this is where my black belt, Michael Bartlett, he's been training me forever. And he's like the best example ever of a silent killer. You probably never heard his name, and you probably never will. But Michael's a bad dude. And Jonathan, that teaches here, he's really good too. All right, Michael hand-selected the uke. He said this guy said he needs to straighten him, some straightening out. It's this guy right here, Alan Hickson. It's the red-headed guy in the blue rash guard. All right, he's filming this. Don't embarrass me. Are you guys ready? Yeah! Wow. I asked Michael who would be the best uke, and he said, this guy, he's a nice guy, he'll make a good uke. I said, no. For what we're going to do today, I need to know who you hate the most. don't send a nice guy for this. So Alan, you're up, dude. Man, it's not a lot of places I go where the uke gets a standing O. You should feel good about that. Not bad. Yeah, that's as good as it's going to get, though. So the plan is I want to show you guys a front headlock system, but it's going to be based entirely around a chin strap. So your grip is going to be on the chin. So we're going to spend a little bit of time here at the beginning just getting the grip that I want, the mechanic that I want, and we're going to do it all on the feet with one hand. Though that's not necessarily how you're going to finish. It's going to be easiest to teach you what I need you to know for later from this standing position. So let's start here. You guys cool with that? Everybody okay with that? All right. Come, young friend. All right. Don't worry about the setup. We miraculously got his head already. Okay. So I'm going to go chin. Oh, perfect. Elbow. So that means I want you to close the elbow. And then I want you to get your ear over to his far shoulder, okay? Now when you do this, I just use that as a cue for you to get your weight over. The idea is weight on him, not ear to his shoulder. So ear to shoulder is a cue to drop your weight on the back of his head. And that's a really important, because as you go throughout what we're going to do today, weight on the back of the head is going to be one of the most important parts of the whole thing. Okay. So 1 is the chin, 2 is the elbow, 3 is the ear to the shoulder. All right. And then your 4th motion is this. So the choke is not going to be up like this, and we're not compressing the sides of the arteries or the side of the neck going to the arteries either. So it's not the trachea and it's not the blood. I'm cutting the airflow off with the soft palate down here. So my choke comes back this way, not this, but this. You guys got it? So 1, 2, 3, and then there. You feel what happens when I curl that wrist back? I'm making the choke here, this way. Where's Michael? Michael, make sure you get a good look at this. The choke's coming. Wait, where are you going? The choke coming. This way. Oh. You guys got it? Not this. I'm not lifting him up. I'm not bringing the choke up at all. it's back through the top of his skull. This way. So just the grip, I want to feel like pretty close to the choke, if not already on the choke. All right, so let's just practice that and open up and get warm. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Yo, check it out. Can I marty your head for a second? I just have it right here. Uke, very important. Don't just die right here. I want you to force me to have good body weight positioning, right? So when I go ear to shoulder, if he postures up right here and I don't have my weight, yeah, go ahead. I don't have my weight on his head, he's just gonna posture up for that no matter how hard I'm holding him or gripping him. The grip is soft. It's a soft touch. It's elbow down. And when he goes to posture, go. You feel where my weight is now? Yeah. I'm hanging on his head right here. Like if he wasn't here, take your head out, I would fall. Okay, and we're gonna do that. We're gonna, as we get more comfortable, we're gonna actually do that in a second. We're gonna drag his dirty, stupid head to the ground. But for right now, I just want you to focus on putting your weight on the head. Super crucial. Ear goes with the shoulder. Why? Because it helps me distribute my body weight. If you're still having trouble with that, take a step to the outside so that both your feet are outside of his. And then just lean on his head a little bit. It should feel like you're gonna fall. All right, but that'll help you to manage where the body weight's gonna actually be. Uke, I need you to try to posture. Yep, no good, there's no weight on the head. Posture. And I should be able to hold him just with my body weight. So I need the Uke to kind of test that for us. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Break fall, do you guys do that?
Yes. Yes, sir.
All right. Show me a side break fall.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Is okay. You got to kick this leg out from underneath you as you go down. So getting rid of my base and dropping to that spot. That's the idea, right? So break fall is this way and I whack them out right there. The same thing is going to be the case now from the feet. So we get our grip here. I want him to wrap the body. Yeah, it's okay. You don't have to hold with 2 hands, but you can. All right. All right. Hey, your head's going into the ground here. Okay.
Great.
So just heads up. I don't want you to like be shocked and get concussed. Like be ready for it. All right. So I set my grip and now I want to go to my hip. I want my hip to hit the ground, the side of my hip. So from here, I want to drag him down this way. Got it. And now the knee can, if it came out, then the knee can go back inside. And my body positioning, don't worry about the grip at all. Just get this foot back behind his butt. Get this one to his hip and use your grip to pull everything to you. This way. Right? So even without this arm. Why are you tapping?
Your thumb is at my throat.
Because it's horrible. That was my translation of what he said something in there, trust me. It's this one. I'm not worried about what's the grip, what's the perfect grip. I'm worried about folding his spine. So everything is predicated on being able to fold his spine and make him round. The more round I can make him, the more easily I'm going to be able to strangle him. So chin strap, elbow closes, weight goes on, I think ear to shoulder, so that the weight goes on. He's going to go around my body like he was starting to finish a double. And I'm going to drop to my hip. If I can get that inside hook, I will. I need it. So if I can steal it during the fall, I'll take it. But more important than that to me is that I get all the way 90 degrees with him out here. All right, hold me up. Yeah, ready? Hold me up, hold me up. This is what I want. Got it? I'm on my side. And I look this hook, holding him so that if he tries to jump over, I can follow him with that hook. Right? My weight is even though I came backwards, my weight is not off the back of his head. I'm going, still thinking ear to shoulder. Okay. The grip doesn't matter. I'm just holding him with this. This foot, depending on where he's at, sometimes I'll grab him and pull him in. Sometimes I'll put this foot on the ground and hip away, starting to turn him towards this anaconda series, which we'll get into in a second. If his hip is dropped off, like your knees are on the ground, this is definitely the time to bring him to you. Okay. And your mechanic, jump all the way out of there now. Your mechanic on the finish is that motion I just gave you. But you remember how on the feet, come here for just a second. How on the feet, when I was demonstrating it to you, how I put my chest right here. So I had something behind this so that when I pulled, you're like, oh yeah, that's the motion he's making. Now we're doing that same thing, but the ground is my chest. That's what's stopping him. And I'll make that same motion on the other side. You guys get it? I'll just stay right here so they can see. It's this way. Got it? And at the same time, I'm bringing his hips, like lift your hips. I'm bringing his hips and everything towards me. So it's making all that weight drop down on this, and it's folding his spine. He's holding onto my hip because he thinks he's in biz, and I just pull him towards me and roll my wrist. Finish him. Get him out of there. All right, but the most important part, you're off the hook. Alan. All right, now I'm going to drop on you.
Okay.
Once you get the hang of it, you ready?
I'm ready as I can be.
This is going to go around, yeah,
Yeah.
like you're hunting for
Yeah.
for my leg. So, all right, you ready? He wasn't ready. But how can you be, dude? You know what I mean? You more ready this time?
Yeah.
Yeah, all my body weight's just going to the back of his head. How can you be ready? You can't stay upright. And now he's already thinking, like, dude, I'm in big trouble. Yeah, what do you think you got to do? Perfect. You got to roll and jump into the series. Right. So for right now, let's just drop him in and practice finishing that. It's an arm in guillotine, but it's a chin strap. It's only one hand finishing the guillotine. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. It matters big time which hip you drop to. Okay? If I got this chin strap on my left hand, then I got to land on my left hip. Even if he took me down and I started on my right hip, I don't have to let go of the chin strap. I could just get my hips away and put my left hip on the ground and I can be right into business. But I can't land on the opposite hip, and I can't spend any time flat in between. It's got to be the same hip, okay? So let's go slow here. If I drop and I go backwards and try to pull him onto me here, then I end up square. And look, it's not the end of the world. Maybe I could make something happen. But if I really, like, drop that hip, it's okay. If I really wanted to make something happen, I would need to get my hip out. You feel the difference in this? That's a kill. This is a prayer. And maybe, look, sometimes, like, it works sometimes, but you're still, I'm having to pull him in and finish him and squeezing. Too much work. Jump over to this side, please. This is what happens if I end up holding on to square or the wrong hip too long. I end up past. All right, go back. Over on the left hip, I got this foot right here. I'm mobile. I can move my hip, myself away. I can drive my ear closer to his shoulder. I can force him to, like, he's thinking I got to roll right now because he's already getting submitted, right? He leaves his hips down. He has the top. So he does what? He lifts his hips. All right. You got to land on the correct hip, though. If you spend any time on the opposite hip, it's done. You can't spend any time on your opposite hip when you're playing for the front hip lock. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's do a couple of drills here. Let's start this first drill seated beside his turtle. Okay. I'm gonna go chin strap, elbow close, ear to shoulder. Why ear to shoulder though? For the weight distribution. I'll just go ear to shoulder because it's fast, right? Chin strap, elbow, ear. And now when you fall on his head, not back. Don't fall back. This is wrong. Come on. When you fall on him, directly 90 degrees with him, so that your ribs are stuck to the back of his head, okay? And now go ahead and bring your arm to the outside. My knee comes in, and then I'll roll to finish, okay? So that's how we'll start. 1, 2, 3. His arm comes out, and I bring him in to finish. Okay, one more time. You ready? Again. Again. All right, you guys got it? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Before we go to the next drill, let me give you a visual of what we're actually trying to do here. That's perfect. Just put your head down on the ground. Okay. And just put your hands back here so that we can observe. Get this other hand out of there. Sorry, yeah. No, if I just had no point, I just wanted to get that hand out there. Okay. Head on the ground. This is the position that he finds himself in when we're doing this guillotine, right? Just trying to chop his neck or squeeze him and compress, that's going to be really hard. The easiest thing to do is to bring his hips over the top. So like if his head stays here, so you got your arm or your body weight right here, stopping his head from moving forward. So then as you bring his hips forward, he has no choice but to submit or to lift his hips. Lift your hips, like get on your toes. And that's what offers up sweeps. Okay, so that's the choice that we're trying to force him to. It's either keep your hips down and die, or lift your hips and save yourself, which opens up the sweep opportunities for me. So I want your movements that you make during this drilling to encourage 2 things. Number 1, that his head folds more. Lift your head just a little bit. That his head folds more. So I want my movements to go to this shoulder because it makes his head fold more. And then I want, perfect, right there. I'm gonna get him right there. Okay, now put your weight down on that head. Perfect. And then I want your other movements either with your foot on the ground, hipping out, or with your foot behind his butt. I want everything to be pulling him this way. And because you're gonna have a little steel pipe sitting in this spot right here, now bring your hips into that position. He's folding himself right over and string on himself. You guys get it? So the position in and of itself should create the choke without me having to know a bunch of like, what's the right grip? Like the grip actually shouldn't matter if you do it well. The grip just locks it. What's your preferred method to lock it all in place? I guess is different grips for different situations. All right, so I say all that to say, starting with here, I'll just start with your arm over here. Starting here, my movement is on to his head so that when I'm, try to keep your, don't flip no matter what you do. You see how my movement brings me closer to his shoulder? And even with him trying not to flip and me just kind of wiggling while I talk to you guys, he's starting to lift those hips and go over, right? Because my body weight is forcing him more and more like that, he's going to have to roll on that shoulder, right? So I want you to focus on that as you go. So chin, weight on, don't roll. And move float there. You see how those hips have to react? Boom. The hips have to react. Now he's easy to sweep. Got it? Bend the head. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoa. What kind of hillbilly counting? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. What kind of Middle Tennessee foolishness was that, dude? Okay, so first time we were facing opposite. This time we're actually going to be in position. So knee to knee, hip to hip, spiral ride on the inside. I'm posted up on the outside foot. And I'm on him, but I'm not trying to push him, right? That's going to get me rolled. No weight on him is going to make it easy for him just to get up and get out of here. A little bit of weight on him will allow me to read him. So I'm on him. I'm not trying to drive through him. I'm just on him with my body. All right. Now this hand might start back here behind the elbow. You might be in here on the front side. You might be trying to wrap wrist, or you might be on the back of his head trying to create problems for him. In this situation, that's exactly what it's going to be. I'm going to push weight down on the back of his head. Why? Because he's a man. He's not going to let me just shove his head down in the dirt. What's he going to do? He's going to posture back up with his head, right? And so I'm really giving it, and I'm waiting on that moment when he's really committed to, you're not pushing my head down. That's when I'm going. I'll be like, you're right, I'm not. All right, so I'm roughing him up. I'm being a mean big brother to him. And I feel that head pop up with the amount of tension I want. Now, keep that neck strong. All of my body weight shifts to the back of his head. See that get up? And now I wrap and I drop into the same position. If his arm stays on the inside, so be it. If his arm comes to the outside, so be it. Let's move him right into the finish. But we're here. I'm big brothering him and I'm on him. All I need to feel is a little bit of pullback, a little bit of pushback from his head. I'm going to make the move around. Turn this way, please. Slow-mo. Push down on his head. He postures up. Right there's my spot. Watch my weight distribute to his head, how it folds him. So I came down at this angle. His arm now pops out. My knee pops in. And there's my finish. Or I go in with my butterfly hooks. Put him where I want him. Don't do that last part yet. All right, can you guys handle the drill? So now we're going to be same side on the turtle, dropping into that position. Slow it first. Weight on the head, crucial. Once you got the hang of it and you're bending the spine with your body, perfect. Now you can start adding speed. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to show you why I feel like it's a good idea to make the arm and guillotine the first choice in your front headlock system instead of the last one, and to make the naked guillotine the last choice instead of the first one. Because that one feels like the most OP, right? Like just a high elbow. And you're right. When it's done, it's really, really done. And it is nasty. But what's the problem that you run into with guys that either they have a strong wrestling background or they got a strong, I just am not going to tap background. Yeah. What happens on the naked guillotine in those situations for you? When you lose it, how do you lose it? They spin. Yeah, they spin and then the head ends up coming out. So like, let's say I grab this big ugly sucker like this and I start going into my high elbow series. So let's just say I even have a pretty good thing cooking here. And you start to spin on me. Like rewind, sit up. Like force me to sit up, pull away. Yeah. And now start to spin on me. And I gotta chase him and it's starting to come apart. And I still kind of got it, but now I'm fighting for it. And then, you end up losing him with the high elbow guillotine sometimes. Or they'll just do like take a front head right here on me. Yeah. Or they just do simple little stuff like pass it by and look out the other side. And you can't really do that with an arm and guillotine, right? So what I'm doing is I'm saying, I know the arm and guillotine is a lower power choke. It's lower on the death scale than the than the naked guillotine. But it's way higher on the keep this dude here forever scale. You know, if it starts to fall apart, you know, turn it into something else on the chain. But the high elbow guillotine to me feels like the end of the food chain. Like if it falls apart, everything, like they're out of the system, right? So here's what I would encourage you to start thinking like. Arm in guillotine, he's a crazy athlete and I drag him into a position. I want to keep him here while he's still acting like an athlete. So as long as he's bouncing around, he's actively hunting for ways out, I'm going to just keep him stuck in this position. I'm not even going to try to squeeze him. I'm just going to hang on to him, make sure he can't get away, try to keep myself up over on my other hip. And then eventually what happens? That's right. And when he begins his transformation from athlete into philosopher, now I will draw my sword and cut his head. Because he's chill now. All right, you're not wiggling around no more? High elbow guillotine. And then my mechanic to finish this is the same. I'm going to bring it all towards me, including his lower back this way. Okay. So head out. You good. You good. Get out of here. Get out of my face. You're right. You're right, Michael. He's the worst. What were we talking about? High elbow guillotine. All right. So this hand's in the same position. He settled down. I'm going from arm in for the athlete. He's a philosopher. This hand comes out and I turn it palm away from me. And then I bring that grip down here. And any kind of S that you can get will work. But if you've got this okay grip in your arsenal, then you're going to have a whole lot of versatility and a little extra reach too. So we can work on that okay grip if you guys want. But I want you to note that it's this way, not this way. I'm not going to tell you that this is wrong, but I'm going to tell you that I can't do this because I don't have the shoulder flexibility. And if it starts to fall apart, they start moving around on this high elbow from this position too much, I end up losing the grip. And now I'm in just try to save it or escape before something worse happens. When you go this way, you keep your shoulder mobility and you can hammer down with this elbow like this. So I want to go here, 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 hammer down. And then my finishing mechanics are the same. Same thing with this wrist and everything. All right, let's look at it one more time. So arm in. He's an athlete. He's bouncing around. Test him out right here. Test him out right here for a little bit. Make sure your grip is serious. All right, and then when he settles down and turns into a philosopher, 1, 2, 3. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what? You know, at some point you got to start asking, is it me? I think that one was me. I gave y'all a little hesitation. No hesitation this time. You ready? All right, I'm just rewind. Who is this? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. So, arm in, got it deep. Naked guillotine, he passes to the side. He's done. He has to roll back from where he came from, and he's dying just to try to make it happen. So test this thing out. Let him pass. Now, do not leave here and go, Brandon said just let him pass on the guillotine. That's not what I said. I'm saying test this one. If he still taps, once he gets around to side control, you know you got it right. But don't use this as your strategy. Biscuit. Triple biscuit. Everybody give a big hand to Triple Biscuit. I don't know why, I just think he's cute. He's a good fella. All right, you guys understand what we're looking for there? So he's going to pass around to side control. You're going to continue. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It's important to me that you guys can walk out of here with like a system that you can implement, not just like the one move or the one detail or whatever. The idea is to implant the system. So everything starts with the arm in guillotine for what we're doing with it today. But what I'm going to show you next ends up being, for me, the submissions that I find the most within the chain. That's the anaconda and the darce. Okay, but they're setups almost always off of the arm in, off of the thread of the regular guillotine. All right, so let's use this setup that we're playing with right now. Okay, I dragged him in. I go down to the hip, and I got this arm on the outside. Okay, and you guys feel free, if you're way over there and you can't see, man, change your spot so you can see what's going on. All right, so arm is on the outside. And I'm thinking it's arm in guillotine time, but stay. But what is it that tells me that that's the case? It's because his hips are down. If his hips are down, then I start moving for a finish. But if his hips go up, which they might do, why would you do that? Because it relieves some pressure on the choke, correct? Right? So like go back to here, don't lift your hips. He taps. All right, do lift your hips. He's alive. Now, the problem is his hips are light, and I've still got these hooks that I can play with. And so now I can guide him into the next trap. And so as I take him over my shoulder right here, I want to try to bring this elbow down with a pinch to my body. Here. Okay. If he's facing his side like this, I'm going to go ahead and make my move. So he's already looking away. He's already up on his side. I'm going straight to my anaconda choke. Watch this move that I make. I go elbows together as I kick and sit up. That's the play. Not this, where I'm hunting for a figure four here. If I reach for this figure four, he's just nice and slow. Yeah, relax. Paul, I'm going to teach you what I want you to do, okay? As my elbow goes back this way, I want you to feel that and just follow the opening, right? So if my elbow is here and I reach, yes, you're going to be able to open. And has that ever happened to you on an anaconda choke? You're like, dang, I lost the elbow. I want you to feel for that same opportunity this time. Go ahead. Well, here's it going. He never gets a chance. So my movement is to bring my elbows together, and then I'll find a figure four. And it'll be pretty deep. It'll be there already. Instead of this, which leaves me open with these big hoops in my chokes. Close the choke and then finalize the grip. And you'll find that it's going to be way, way easier. Okay? So same setup. His hips go up. As his hips go up, I flip him. He stays turned away from me. That's my cue. I kick and sit up, and I close my elbows together. Right here. And now I can walk my hips down and start thinking about looking for a finish. But I would tell you, don't worry about the finish just yet. Just make sure that you can lock it up, because the finishing mechanics are going to do you no good if you never get to the efficient killing position. So let's get here, and then let's put together the finish. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So I think some of you guys are having trouble creating the roll. And the reason is because you don't have your body on the back of his head. So remember the ear to shoulder cue, right? Why were we doing that? To get weight on the back of his head. So once I make any kind of connection to the back of his head, I never want him to be able to go back an inch again. So even if I'm not actively leaning on it, I want to put something like a block behind it so he can't just take his head back. For example, right now I'm heavy on his head and his head ends up dropping. But what happens when his head touches the floor? Well, then my weight's not actually on his head anymore. But notice how continuing to hunt that ear to shoulder connection, watch what it does, even if I just take my legs out of position completely. Watch what putting my ear to his shoulder does to his posture. See how that makes him roll? Just that act in and of itself. Okay, go back. You guys understand what I'm looking for now? So now when you're dropping into this arm and guillotine, your finishing mechanics are off to that angle. And those good finishing mechanics are what makes him react with his hip. Well, if you're doing that to his head and his hip goes up, what's going to happen with just a little tip with your butterfly hook, and he's going to fall over like this. You can barely touch him. And he's going to go for a run. All right, is everybody getting to that anaconda lock right there too? Is anybody having trouble with that yet? Okay, that's good news. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. We're gonna move into a different setup for this. Not because you guys were doing really good with the other one. You weren't. You weren't. I'm just kidding. But because I got a part of this that I need to emphasize. All right, so as we're attacking this front headlock system, one of the most important elements is that I keep his elbow open, right? And it's going to be really hard for me just to grab his arm and try to pull it open or keep it open or block it open. The easiest way to accomplish that is to attach it to your body and then move your body. And this setup is going to teach you to do that with the same, we're getting into the same, no, I want you to stay on your Z guard right here. Yeah, there we go. This is good right here. All right, so my inside knee is up. I open the underhook for him, just begging him to do exactly what he's supposed to do. Sit up and take that underhook. As he does, go ahead. I meet him with my chest. All right, so like I turn to face him right here. All right, go back. Sit up. I don't simply look to grab his head. He's going to come up and go through me. As he sits up, I meet him with my chest. See how I'm now opposing him back this direction? You guys see the difference? That's really important. It's a small little detail, but it's a really important one. This one allows me to be the offensive player. Meeting him here makes me the defensive player. You guys got it? This is crucial. Now I can go over his head. It's just an easy little slip. Look, you don't have to reach big. It's just an easy little slip. I want to move as small as possible. Easy little slip. And I'm on him. I just need the chin. I don't need a big route, remember? And then once I get the chin, now I'm going to put this shoulder on the ground and I'm going to pinch his elbow into my ribs here. So when I connect and hold this with my elbow, it's going to pull his elbow with me as my body moves, right? And it's going to hopefully illustrate this point that we're trying to make. Here, put my shoulder on the ground and I pull his elbow with me. You guys see how I brought his elbow out away from his body with that? Got it? From the control of the elbow, I go elbow to elbow on this side. And that's how I start to beat. If you feel like it's not there yet, punch this through a little bit, elbow to elbow, and it'll be done. All right? When you're ready to finish, drop back to your side, and I want you to hit 4 very important steps to finish the anaconda. Okay? Here they are. So I hit my side, and I go elbows in, elbows down. Hips in, head back, and then I would squeeze. So it goes elbows in, elbows down, hips in, head back, murder. But don't try to murder before you've done all the necessary steps. You're just going to get tired. And then no murder. Okay? Elbows in, elbows down, hips in, head back, squeeze. Elbows, elbows, hips, head. That's the order. Okay? What are we focusing on as we make this roll from the quarter guard? Tying up the elbow with our body weight. I want to be able to drag him around. Stand up for me. I want to be able to drag him around with this connection right here. You guys got it? So that when I start to go, take me down, take me down. You guys see the connection that I'll Playing with there. Boom, done. Come all the way to your knees. Just running back through the next part of the cycle. He's never going to be safe again. He's going to get this elbow exposed. He's going to be trapped for the rest of his life. And it's not going to be long. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Me being here and trying to lock this. You feel how much space you're going to have with that arm? Yes, it's like never going to happen, right? Versus me being here and then just putting my elbows together. Like there's no way for you to stop it again. You feel what I'm talking about? So instead of reaching right here, feel how you can pull your elbow back? Yes, go back. Instead of reaching, elbow to elbow. Try to take your elbow back. Take it back, take it back. Got it?
Watch out behind you.
This way here.
Thank you. I really do hope you bring back the combine.
He's asking me about the combine, dude. He said, I want the combine. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Sit up, take the underhook here. All right. So I really want to emphasize this part to you guys. I think it's really important. All right, I got a good position here. I'm ready to go to the anaconda. Turn up to your side just a little bit. Yeah, right here. I'm ready to go to the anaconda. There's a couple of things working against, even though he's got a nice skinny neck, and I definitely am going to be able, without much effort, to lock a pretty deep figure 4. So none of that's going to be the problem. The problem is he's already got a couple of things going his way. Number one, I have a lot of gap to cover to get to my grip. You guys see what I'm saying? Like I got to travel all this way to get down here to the grip, and then I got to try to squeeze it together and hope that in that process he doesn't bring, just stay right here, you're good. He doesn't try to bring his elbow back to his body because that's going to blow the whole thing up, right? And if I get here and I try to reach across that long gap with this hand, he's going to pull that elbow back. And now check this out. Here's what's really magical is that don't pull your elbow back. And I go cover the gap. No big deal. But now pull your elbow back. He can still do it and break it apart. Okay? So what I want to just take out of your game is the reach. Okay? Instead, I want elbows to elbows. The kick comes here. Have the palms go up. And then the grip goes all the way together. I don't even need my grip once I have this. Like, I'm just going to be able to crush his head from here. Okay. Now, I said that there were 2 things working against me, right? One is this distance that I have to cover. The other is that his arm is on the outside of my hip. Okay. If I want to run to this, I really do have to shake that arm off of my hip. But if I sit up and drive this elbow, I'll get rid of that anyway. But I really want this arm on this side to make the best finish. You can definitely finish an anaconda with the arm on the outside, but the finishes are way easier on this side. Okay. So that's another reason that I put this elbow together is it overpowers this blocker here. Like, don't let me put these elbows together. You know what's coming, all right? Got it. Then once I'm here, I'm going to my side. Elbows, elbows, hips, head, squeeze. Okay? And if he's on his flat back, it's going to be harder to get him to tap. If he's on his side, it's going to be very easy. But also if he's on his flat back and he's not tapping, we're going to have some extra sauce for him in a second. So don't let him think he's getting off right there. Okay? You guys handle the anaconda? What were you about to say? Yeah, the words coming out of my mouth were about to be, can y'all handle the anaconda? And he couldn't say yes fast enough. Just remember that. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. So to re-emphasize now the elbow to elbow mechanic that we were just talking about. I want us to lock up the anaconda from a different position. We're going to do it from the front headlock itself against the turtle here. So this is traditionally, this is the way everybody would teach this. It was against a sprawl. So you lock it up, you get an elbow dragged across, and then you go elbow deep, and then you roll through. What I'm going to tell you is that instead of focusing on rolling through, I want you to focus on not the figure four, not the roll, but in chasing a movement that makes your elbows go closer together. So when I dip through this hole, it's not because the right thing to do is to roll. It's because I'm seeking to put this elbow closer to this elbow. Here's what I mean. So I get through here. Once I clear my elbow to the other side of his tricep, I'm just looking to put this elbow together. All right, so you try not to roll, okay? Don't roll, don't roll, don't roll. Don't choke either if you don't have to. Understand? It's the seeking of the elbows together, right? That puts me in the right positions to make him roll. Again. Your head will drop under into the right position. Your hips will go into the right position if you're seeking the right activity. You guys got it? This elbow chasing this one. However, I clear him. Pop, pop, and now, right here, the temptation, if you can't see, you should get somewhere where you can. Right here, the temptation would be to walk it up. Do you feel you can pull your elbow back in that moment? Yes. So instead of reach and take a chance at the elbow opening, come back. I seek to lock your elbow more. Now open the elbow. Open it, open it, open it, open it. You see what I'm saying? By chasing him this way, I stay out closer to the end of the lever. So I can just get rid of his arm without needing extra hands to do it. You guys get it? All right, try it. 1, 2, 3. All right, now you take the underhook. All right, this time I'm gonna meet him. I'm gonna roll. But when we roll, I'm gonna end up belly up. So we're gonna roll to kind of a neutral position, kind of like a headquarters position. So I'll meet him by facing him with my chest. Even if he was to try to continue coming up, I'm going over him now. All right, I'm opening this elbow with me, and he's going to go all the way to his back here. All right, and we're going to end up in this spot. Now, there's a couple of different ways that I want you to feel like you can control this thing. Number one, notice I don't have to hold on to a death clench on the chin. The objective right now is not necessarily control his chin. I will keep it if it's easy, but my arm was a little deeper than that already, so I didn't have the chin when we landed. What I did manage to get, though, was this position here, to where I'm keeping his elbow open with my body weight. All right, so if I just try to pinch, like, say my feet are on the ground, and I just try to pinch this hard, can you pull your elbow back to your body? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you feel? But what if I hang my body weight on that and you go to pull it back? Does that feel like a different situation? Yes, you feel like you pull me right there? Mm-hmm. That's what I want. Instead of when you pull, go ahead, I try to save it. Oh no. It should feel like when you pull me into the chokes. You guys got it? So hanging your body weight on the end of this arm is super crucial. I do that by taking my feet off the ground and my hips off the ground. So it's the difference in being, yeah, you're good. It's the difference in being here versus being here. You feel the difference in this? So I can move you now. So I'm either holding him with the elbow or I'm collecting him at the elbow with this. Either way, he can still pull his elbow back. But when he does, go ahead, he has to bring me with him. You see the difference? That's what I want. So I'm either here and he pulls me back. I like that elbow. Or I'm here and he pulls me back. And he probably starts to turn up to his knees right here. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And I'm still in on the same play. You guys got it? Okay, so now come all the way back. All right. Around the head, holding on to the elbow. He's got a couple of choices. All pretty simple and easy to predict. He either stays flat and doesn't do anything and tries to think his way out. If he's doing that and his arm is on the outside, I'm going to look over my shoulder and roll over the inside shoulder. I'm going to go straight back to my mount and finish. If he stays flat but his arm is on the inside, then I push and collect that and roll over the other shoulder into a variety of choices depending on how he reacts. Right? If his arm is on the outside and he turns to his knees this way, then I just let him go and I sit him into the same series again. Okay? Back. If his arm is on the inside and he chooses to turn to his knees, then I can chase anaconda. Look, I'm in the same position. Chase the elbow. You guys get it? Again. So flat, I roll back over my shoulders. He turns this way, I chase anaconda. Go back. No, go back. He turns this way, I chase anaconda. What happens though if he turns to his knees this way? Start to turn in this way. Right there, I have to get my head out of the way and switch my grip. And there's my Darce choke. Okay, turn all the way to your knees. There's my Darce choke. Go back. Or he turns all the way up to his knees and I cut my elbow underneath and go back into the same anaconda series by cutting my elbow. Okay, so what I want you to recognize is that we're taking him to this headquarters position and we're opening up options for his three primary options. His three options on the tree are stay flat, turn left, and turn right. And you need to have a programmed response that your body just responds into, like ready to fall into that space when he creates it. You don't want to have to think through it. You need it programmed in so that when the moment appears, you can't miss. Okay? He stays flat, we roll back over onto a guillotine. He turns away from us, anaconda. He turns towards us, stick your head out, and Darce. Let's keep it that simple. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We'll come back and tighten all this up later. Just get the base idea for now. All right. So now I want to show you another setup. Can I use you? I want to show you another setup. Everybody come to this side over here. And just have a seat on your butterfly. Yep. But you'll actually probably use this a lot. But I don't use it to get to the guillotine that much. I use it to move around towards the back take. But I'm going to show it to you as a guillotine first, and then we'll use this to transition into the next idea for when I can't get the chin strap. All right, so real simple. I'm just going to step inside with my left foot if I want to use my left hand for the chin strap. I want to take his head. I want to just dump it in, and I'm going to cover the same details from there. All right. If he sits in tight, like he's holding on to your leg, then you're going to give him, I call this encouragement. Okay. So sit tight, like go tight to my shin. You're going to give him a little encouragement. It looks like this. It's just real simple. Yeah, rewind here. Now sit like you're going to try to sit up into it. All right. Like, man. I learned that we used to have a big Rottweiler and he would jump on you. And they said you had to do that when he jumps on you. That's what I do to him too. So I learned that from having a Rottweiler. Get all kinds of knowledge out there. All right, so he sits in. We'll give him a little encouragement. Whack, and that's going to give me the space to put that right there. So whack, whack, and then I drop him to the same side. All right, now look, I'm going to make a real simple call for him. I'm going to drive into him, and I'm going to flatten him out. But now my weight stays on his head. So I'm not trying to take him backwards. I'm dropping all of my weight down on his head to fold him, and I'm going to start taking him this way. Now, he's got a choice. It's all about what does he do with this arm. As I take him back, if his arm stays on the outside, then I'm going to cut my knee across, and I'm going to finish like that. Okay? Or I can take this through and finish a pretty nasty neck crank. Or honestly, anything you wanted to. You could just kind of do whatever you want because he's young and his neck can take it. If he's smart, he'll take that hand to the inside. So when I go here and I start to drive him down, he'll take that hand to the inside. If he takes that hand to the inside, then I can scoot all the way around. Okay? So you got two choices. You can go here or you can go all the way through. For now, you're just going to go to here with the hand. All right, so now check it out. Hand goes down. And I'm going to scoop my knee in one motion all the way around to his back. As that happens, because his hand was on the inside, he's going to be trapped and ready for a rear triangle. If his hand goes all the way through this way, then when I make my moves, then I just have a clean back take. All right, so 3 choices. Let's do this. Let's just skip the guillotine part. We'll set him for a guillotine, and then we'll take the hand through like this. Got it? His hand stays on the outside. No, on the outside, then you drop him straight back, and you sit through on him. His hand goes inside your leg, then when you turn the corner, flip away and hit the rear triangle. And if his hand goes all the way through, then when you turn, you should have a clean back take. Okay, you like those 3 options? Let's try them out. Ready, 1, 2, 3. I go in to try to chin strap. Just kind of react naturally. What would your hands do if you, exactly. You're not gonna just let me grab your chin, right? Not for free at least. You're gonna bring your hands in and try to strip away grips. And because this hand is on the outside, I know it's gonna be which hand coming in to strip the grip. This one, too easy. And so in order for him to strip the grip, what does he have to do? Look how he's, oh, see this? Yeah, that's perfect. This gap right here to his armpit, I'm gonna take advantage of that gap. As he goes to try to hand fight, I'm not here to fight you. If you don't want me to grab your chin, I won't. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna put my body weight on the back of your head for the rest of your life. Like, just because I'm not holding a chin strap doesn't mean I'm not gonna do everything that I just did. I'm gonna do it anyway. So, chin strap, hand, okay then, still here. And now, hold me strong with your posture. Right, yeah. Okay, are you ready? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna drop down to here. Just crawl around him. He just went dead. I think his body died. Something happened. So now, come here. Now sit on your butterfly. Giving me too much sass. Hand goes through. And now I have the same options in front of me, right? Turn the corner is the most readily available option. It's the easiest to do. This is where I saw most of you struggling here, is you were putting your hand down for a second, and then you'd try to jump or step. You'd go like this. And you end up facing this angle here. What I would like for you to do is put your hand down way over here, so you got some weight on everything, and so this leg is light, so that when you slide your knee all the way to the other side, you'll be facing this way, same as him. Now it's an easy back take. So I would say that's the number one issue I saw with the back take, as I looked around the room. Chin, too much sass. Hand goes through, and it's not a death grip. I'm just kind of clamping on the back here. Weight goes here, and now I don't care what he does with his left hand. It could be between my legs like that, and he's going to end up in a rear triangle, or he can take it all the way through because he feels freedom and he wants to spin. It doesn't matter. I end up in the same spot basically, which is on his back. All right, can you guys handle it? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Then I'll go here, and then I'll just switch, right? Same thing from my seated position. So be firm with your posture here, and bring that right hand in to fight my grip. Yeah, just take my grip there. No, this grip, the one that's bothering you. Yeah, the one that's on your chin. You don't want that, right? And so what does he do? He reaches in and tries to pull my hand away, but in pulling my hand away, he guides me to the underhook. So he's got to give me either the chin or the underhook. And I'll start with either one, right? So like, if I could just get to a spot like this, which is pretty easy to do, then I'll threaten to touch his chin. He brings his hand in, so I'll touch his shoulder. And if he starts to really press this down towards the ground, then I'm back on the chin again. You know what I'm saying? I'm just running through this sequence like that. If I get over to here and he's not giving me anything to work with, this is a really fun thing to do too. Take both your feet out. Okay. And now I'm trying to lay my ear down in this pocket right here. Stay strong with your posture. Don't roll if you don't have to. See what I'm trying to do? I'm laying on his head. Don't roll, don't roll, don't roll, don't roll. Whatever you do, don't roll. See how he has to start though. He has to. He has to. Because, do your turtle. Just like with the guillotine, this way, please. Just like with the guillotine earlier. Put your head on the ground. Just like with the guillotine earlier, I was using my body to fold his head. And that's what was making him roll. Same thing here. Just now, instead of holding the chin, I'm holding the armpit. But it actually makes me deeper on the back of his head, so it actually makes it easier to fold him and move him and roll him. And he's not going anywhere. I mean, you got his neck, you know? You may not have it in a death grip yet. Sit up. You may not have it in a death grip yet. He's starting to pass. He's starting to pass. And I get here, and then if I could just flare my hand, continue with your next play. Keep going. What would you do next? Whatever you want to do. You guys got it? So I'm going to go under him and then continue the same body motion. Come over for a second. Watch this. So guillotine. Press through, keep your head, keep strong. I lay on him here, not back. That's not gonna get it done. Kick everything out of the side. Don't roll if you don't have to. And he's on the ground, so that looks a little fancier than it is, but it's the same movement here. It's the same movement. Yeah, see? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. So, for me, the most important part is body turning his head. This is my movement. I'm trying to fold his head up with my ribs. Okay. All right, right there, he rolls. Now right here, he's got a choice. He decides I can just lay here, or I can try to get away, okay? And if he tries to get away, can you come back towards me? All right, so you figure out you can't come that way, right? The neck crank is stopped. So, that's right? Okay. You can't go this way because the neck crank's stopping him. Can you go this way? You could, except for what happened here. That was just that little hold up at the arm. I still, even if I grab him though, I still can't stop him from running. So start to turn to your knees. I still can't stop him. I'm eventually going to lose him. Come back. But when he turns to run, what I can do is ride. What I can do is ride the position. Okay. So I'm not going to be able to hold on to that for long, but I am going to be able to slow him down like the perfect amount of time for me to hit that angle on my chair sit, basically. Oh, go back to your turtle. I want to turn you. Run away. There's all kinds of options. Once you get back there, you'll be like, oh, he just magically gives me something every time I try this. Yes. Either his arm or his neck. And he can give you either arm. Right? It just depends on his reaction on the other side. Let's stand up this time. This time, a different setup. Shove him around. Oh, got him. You ready, dog? Yeah. Same play. He turns to run. I'm all over. Same setup. He's exposing the arm lock every time just because of the way he's reacting. Most people expose the back, but that's okay with me. What I want you to do is get him turned, get him into that upside down position where he has to like run away and he feels like he almost can, except that arm is stopping him. Let him drag you up into position, just chair sit and chase whatever's available. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Play actually is. There's not a lot of stress coming from me. I'm not gripping him and trying to throw him and using a lot of energy. Just putting myself in position and then moving my position against his spine, basically. All right. So look, don't fall for real. I got your head here, but don't just roll because you think I'm trying to make you roll for the people. Stay where you're at. Okay. All right, you ready? Mm-hmm. You guys get it? So here's what I'm doing. Jump out. Here's what I'm doing. Is this. And here's what most of you guys are doing. Where is it? It's more of this. More lazy. This is what I'm doing. There's no bridge, there's no big throw. It's just moving his head with my ribs in such a way that he has to roll. He can't help it, he has to roll. All his weight's on his head, and his head's folded, his chin is about to touch his chest. What's he gonna do? He has to roll. So anticipate that. You know he's gonna have to roll, right? So then the read becomes where it's his arm after he rolls. Is it on the outside? Then it's gonna stay a neck crank situation. Is it on the inside? Then it's gonna be some kind of triangle situation on the other side. Is it all the way through? Then it's gonna be a back take. And he can make that choice at any time during this process with his hand. I just gotta catch that read. So I'm just constantly looking for a couple of reads. He's messing with my chin strap hand, then it's 100. He's forgotten about defending his chin, he's doing stupid stuff with his arms, then it's a chin strap. A or B, not much to it. Okay, I have the position. All right, am I on my right, am I on my left hip? No, then do something to get on it. It's super simple. Get out onto this hip. Is my weight on his head? Yes or no? So I'm just chasing these like simple little options. He has to. He doesn't have a choice. It's not because I'm throwing you, is it? There's no energy coming from me. Now we got him to this spot here. It's crucial I didn't let his head out right here. Like put your head on the ground.
Oops, sorry.
If I let his head out, then none of this is gonna play. So I'm chasing that bend in his spine. Look at my grips, how seriously I'm not taking my grips. I don't care. The grip is not what's doing this for me. It's the positioning that this has given me with my ribs against his hand. And then this hand, I want him to feel a little bit of freedom so he'll run this way. That's what I want. During that motion, watch me. Let's go slow. Watch me load up and let him go. And I'm not chasing this hook. I'm chasing this one. Oh, stay. Come back. We're going to get to here. And then here. And we're going to sit up. And that's what's going to free this back leg. If you get over here and you're like, oh, I gotta turn this. Don't go belly down so just yet. I'll get to the belly down in a second. Once we slide this chair sit up, don't try to like get your foot free. Go here and sit up. Don't drag him back. Drag him back, you're gonna lose position. Sit him up. And now everything is free. Before his head hits the mat, before any of our weight gets onto our legs, I switch, adjust, and now I'm ready for a very nice body triangle and perhaps a good old-fashioned homegrown murder. Got to chase him with this chair set. Run, 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 run. Got it. Chase the chair sit movement with your knee on the back side. Trust me, it's important. Don't try to stuff your, just like when we were turning from this position. When we were turning from this position. I'm not stepping and trying to feed that needle or thread that needle. I'm just sliding around the corner. That's what I'm trying to do, is steal angle. This will come free in a second. Since all right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Any questions about the material that we covered today? I feel like we barely got into it. I really wanted to show you guys that back take system right there at the end more.
So when you are in that headquarters position and their arm isn't across your body, you did the other shoulder roll to the outside. Could you show that one more time?
Sure. Just lay there. Put your head down. Oh, but on your back.
Okay, I see what you mean. I'm with you.
Let's see what we have to deal with now.
Just put them out.
So I'll do this anytime that I'm attacking an anaconda and I've got it across, but it's especially if this arm's not deep enough or I feel like I don't have the positioning quite right to punch this through and get to the choke. If I can get that through, especially if I can get here, once you get the hang of it and the timing for it, you won't necessarily have to hold this, but in the beginning, hold this. And then I'll look over the outside shoulder and I'll roll over the wrong shoulder out this way. And now he's gonna react in one of a couple of ways. He's either gonna try to stick his back flat to the mat again, go slow, so they can see, yep, and I'm gonna have a power guillotine here, or I can just retrace with my hip, go elbow to elbow, and I can be on my anaconda again. Or I'm gonna roll over my shoulder. His back is gonna expose and he's gonna continue, and then that's the move that we just did, right? That's the back take that we just did, right? If I'm starting to lose him right here, keep coming up, keep coming up. Oh, high, the same way you were going, yes. That's the slim move. One more time. Or I roll. He exposes the back, then he realizes that was a big mistake. He tries to pull his back to the mat again. Then I just sit back and I have the arm lock right there. So he's exposing his arms or his back, no matter what reaction he gives. Or he's just allowing me to stay on the choke series. But whatever reaction he gives, he should be in just a cycle of offensive finishes. Which one is he picking? I don't care. But he's never getting out of the trap. Not bad. Not a bad little turnout for Cookeville, Tennessee. It's pretty crazy, huh?
The godfather of PGF. Now the picture with you?
Yeah, of course. Man.
Also, hey, Jonathan.
My boy rang that gong. We definitely got to get some footage of us ringing the gong for PGF grudge matches. After you ring it, I want you to say the name of a foe that you must conquer.
I don't know rules with PGF.
Just have to see what you say. The gong will speak. All right, we're ready.
Ready?
Yeah.
Reese Lefevre.
Whoa! That's pretty cool. Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, I've watched the new stalling rule. Guess what my mother told me? It's for my match with me and Noah. That's
I've said it before, but in the PGF, a draw is a loss.
Hard collar tie. Oh, that was.
Whoa. Whoa!
After 6 minutes, this match finishes with a
Let me tell you
draw.
something. I'm never doing that again.
You heard it here, kids. He's recovered from hard collar ties. He's reformed.
Yeah, I'm a PGF veteran. I've got some experiences. And now, third time's a charm. I'm only thinking about submissions, tapping people out. You heard from the man right here, the rock troll. Pretty cool, huh?
Pretty cool, huh?